Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Jacob. In this video, I want to give you 3 tips to monetize and heavily monetize, not just a little bit, like seriously extract the maximum value that you can from a small audience. Okay, I don't care if you're on YouTube, I don't care if you're using email, I don't care if you're on Facebook, right? I've been able to do this on all platforms, small audience, monetize heavily, well beyond what most people will say that you can do, right? Everyone's all about building as big an audience as possible and then maybe we'll monetize down the track. You don't need to wait. You can build an audience of people who are buyers. You can build an audience of people who expect to be pitched to. And if they don't like it, they can go elsewhere, okay? There's some strategies, there's some really key points that you need to understand in order to be able to monetize a small audience. And we're going to talk through 3 of the big ticket items that are really important to making this happen. Let's dive into it. I'm going to roll the intro and we'll get started. Let's do it. Alrighty, so the very first one is to pitch soon, pitch frequently, and pitch unapologetically. Okay, so what do I mean by each of those? Pitch soon is if you're paying for ads to get people into your audience, or someone joins your Facebook group, right? Or someone lands on any one of your YouTube videos, pitch soon. The sooner you put a pitch in front of them, the sooner they are going to realize that if they want to be a part of your audience, they're going to need to get comfortable being pitched to. Pitch frequently or pitch often means do it all the time so they get used to it, they expect it, and it's not weird and they're not unprepared when you do it. And do it unapologetically, right? Deliver your pitch with conviction, with confidence, and know that what you're selling can solve a problem. If it can't, you need to change what you are selling. Assuming that it can, you have no reason not to look down the barrel of the camera, not to type up a post that clearly, confidently gets across the point of what you are selling and how it can help the people in your audience, okay? Now, some people are gonna hear this and they're gonna go, what do you mean, Jacob, pitch soon? I have to deliver value. What do you mean, Jacob, pitch frequently? I have to deliver value. You have to do that, it is a given. But what most people do is they just do that. And then they expect somehow that the sales will still happen. You need to clearly give people a call to action and tell them what you want them to do. Give them a call to action and tell them how they can work with you. Give them a call to action and tell them what the path is if they want to solve their problem faster, aka with your paid program. If you don't explicitly tell people, they're not going to spend very long digging. They're going to go somewhere else. They're probably going to consume somebody else's content. And the person that they're going to buy from is the person who explicitly tells them what steps to take in order to move forward. And they're going to buy from somebody else. It's either you or it's the person who pitches them. It may as well be you. So that's the first tip, right? Now look, you have to balance this with value. You cannot simply pitch soon, pitch frequently, and pitch unapologetically if there is no value that sits alongside it. But I'm going to assume that if you're creating content, you've probably got the value in check because most people do. Most people know how to create the value content. Most people can talk about their topic, until they're blue in the face. What most people can't do is pitch, right? If you pair those 2 together and you know that what you're selling can help people, you will massively increase the amount of money that you are able to extract from a small audience. Okay, pitch soon, pitch frequently, and pitch unapologetically. Okay, you don't need to apologize to people for selling to them. If it's a good product and it can help them, and you're pairing that offer with high quality free content, do it and don't be sorry about it. Do it regularly and don't be sorry about it. Do it at the start of your videos, at the end of your videos. Do it in your Facebook posts. Do it in your emails. Put it in the footer of your emails. Do a PS. Put it at the start of the email. Pitch whenever you want to pitch, because if you're matching it with value, people will buy. The second big tip is high ticket. Okay, now what high ticket actually means is going to vary from person to person. Right? Some people may say high ticket is $500. Some people may say high ticket is $10,000. Okay, what I'm going to tell you is that you need to have a way that people can pay you where you get paid at least $500 per sale, right? If you integrate an offer where you earn at least that, ideally more, right? Ideally $750, ideally $1,000. If you have an offer where you can earn more, you need less customers in order to hit your same income goals or exceed them in a lot of cases. One problem I see a lot of people doing is not only do they have a small audience because they're early in growing it, but they're trying to make money by selling $7 products or $50 products. And then it's like, Jacob, I want to get to 20K a month. With the traffic you've got in your Facebook group or the traffic you've got on YouTube or the budget you've got for ads, if you're selling a $50 product, you're never going to get there. You are never, ever, ever going to get there. Sure, there is cases of people making that amount of money with $50 products, but it's not the majority. It's not the smart way to do it. You need to integrate something that costs more if you want to monetize a smaller audience, is less traffic, right? But if you build the audience using what we spoke about in item 1, which is high value paired with regular pitching, unapologetic pitching, and pitching as soon as people see you so that they can decide, right, am I comfortable with this? If I'm not, I'm going to leave. You're going to build up an audience of people who are comfortable buying, who are expecting to be pitched to, and who will buy from you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. If you pair that audience building strategy with a high ticket offer, it is going to get you to your income goals way faster. Vanity metrics are bullshit, right? If you've got an audience of 200,000 people, none of which will ever buy from you, none of which have ever been pitched to, none of which have the means to buy any product of significant value, which means that you can earn more, what is the point? There is no point in those people watching your content, right? You don't just put content out there for the sake of it. You put it out there to build awareness and to move people into your sales process, right? Which means that your content needs to attract, needs to draw in the right type of people. The right type of person is going to be within a certain profile, but ultimately is the person who can afford your product and is the right fit for your product. Okay, so you could bring in all these people who are interested in the topic that you talk about, but if they can't afford it, there's no point in them being there. They're not your ideal prospect. Okay, so that's the second tip, is integrate high ticket. Look, if you want to take it a little bit lower and make it $300, sure. The point is, you want to be able to get to $1,000 a day in a couple of sales, because that means that you don't need that much traffic, which is perfect when your audience is small, right? You see how these things go hand in hand. You build an audience of buyers, you offer them something that's premium priced, and it means that you don't need a ton of traffic, which is obviously in line with having a smaller audience. And then the third and final tip that I've got for you is to create content that is geared towards monetization. Okay, so what do I mean by this? What I mean is that you need to create content that moves people towards their goal and moves them towards a purchasing decision, right? You need to help people understand what their real problem is. You need to help them then start moving towards that solution, and ultimately a percentage of those people are going to want to move faster. They're going to want the whole picture. They're going to want the step-by-step. They're going to want more support. They're going to want community. Those are the people that will buy your programs, right? And you don't need that many, and you're selling a premium price program, so a percentage of them will go from being in your free audience to buying, and you'll be monetizing at a very, very high rate by comparison to a massive audience of people who can't afford the product, of people who are only a little bit interested, of people who aren't used to being pitched, all these kind of things, right? So how do we create that content? There's a few buckets that you want to focus on. The big one is the value bucket, right? We've spoken about this. This is a given. Most people who have been doing content marketing for any length of time get this, and they get how it works. In short, this is where your prospect currently is, and this is where they want to get to, right? There's this bridge that needs to be built between those 2 points. The fastest way between those 2 points is your product, okay? But what a lot of people are going to need to do is consume your content over an extended period before they make a purchasing decision. So one core bucket of that content needs to be helping them build that bridge, and then they'll come to a point, a percentage of them will anyway, where they'll go, oh, I just want the full blueprint. I want the full map. I want the bridge built for me. Whatever it is that you are selling, whatever your service is, whatever your product is, okay? So the way that I like to think about this is, imagine you've got like a canyon, right, or like a gorge. They're on one side, they want to get to this side, and there's a bridge that can be built. That's going to be the fastest way. That's your product. But ultimately, imagine like 3 or 4 core pillars along the way, right? Now, we're not going to connect all these pillars together, but you're going to talk about the 3 or 4 core topics that your audience needs to understand, needs to appreciate, needs to have in mind, needs to start implementing. What are the core things that they have to have in place ultimately to go from A to B? Okay, so for me, in the make money online space, in the affiliate marketing space, in the information marketing space, I really need my audience to understand what type of mindset do they need to have? How do they craft an offer? How do they sell their offer? And how do they get in front of people in order to do those things? Okay, so my value content is based around those 4 buckets. You need to figure out what those 3 to 4 buckets are so that you can create your value content, okay? The next thing that you want to do in both isolation and throughout your other content is integrate you and integrate your personality. If you go on a trip, take people on the trip with you, right? If you go out and about and do something, take them on the road with you. Show them that you're a real person, right? Show them that you're something beyond just a person who types stuff on Facebook or who does YouTube videos about a certain topic, right? Add some personality to all of your videos, and then do videos that are specifically about, you know, hey, I just went off and did this thing, or, you know, here's a day in the life, or I'm vlogging, or I'm going on a holiday, or, you know, doing this cool thing, right? Show people that you are a real person and that you're not just a faceless brand and you're not just a content machine, that you're actually a real person on the other end of that content who gives a shit about them and gives a shit about their goals. That's really, really important. The third thing that you want to do is you want to share testimonials, you want to share results, you want to share proof that your stuff works, right? And there's 2 ways you can do this. Again, you can do interviews with students, you can do interviews with successful students if it's an affiliate program that you're promoting, like other students. It doesn't necessarily have to be your results. You can weave stories into your content about your results, about student results, about other, you know, community results. You can do the results piece or the testimonial piece as either content on its own or weave it in to your other content. Okay. Some of the other big buckets that a lot of people don't think about that you're going to want to dive into is, what are your audience's major objections? Sit down with your computer with a cup of tea and write down 20 objections. What are 20 reasons that somebody would not buy your product? And then start creating videos that knock over those objections. Same thing with limiting beliefs. What are 20 limiting beliefs that your audience have, right, that you need them to overcome in order to hit their goal or in order to purchase your product? What limiting beliefs need to be removed so they can move full steam ahead, buy your thing, and hit their goal? Make a video about each of those limiting beliefs and start knocking them over, right? What experience of yours can you draw on to help them avoid certain pitfalls, right? Or what have you been taught by mentors that you can pass on to others that you know will be helpful? Helping people avoid a lot of pain is going to build strong affinity with your brand, right? If you do all of those things in your content and you wrap them with regular, frequent, and unapologetic pitches, you will sell stuff, right? You will be able to extract a lot more value from a small audience if you pitch frequently, if you pitch high ticket, and you structure your content in that way, okay? I want to give you a 4th and bonus tip, right? And this is about going above and beyond. This is about doing what most people won't do. And I recommend that you, at least initially, right, and you can take this as far as you want, but I know so many people want to automate everything, is get personal. Talk to your audience. Get to know them. If you can talk to them one-to-one in Messenger, on Facebook, on Instagram, if you can move them from YouTube and have a conversation back and forth on email, talk to them. Understand what they're struggling with. Understand where they're currently at. Understand where they want to get to. Understand why they want to get there. And then show them how your product can do that. If you pair that personal touch and actually showing your audience that you care enough to talk to them, to help them come up with a custom solution to make sure that your product is the right fit for them. If you pair that with doing the content the way we just spoke about it, selling something that's more expensive so you don't need that many sales, and you pitch, and you don't make it all weird and freak out when you do a pitch, you're going to build an audience of people who are prepared to buy stuff, assuming they see the right offer. You're going to make more money because you're selling more expensive stuff. You're going to be in the margin game and not the volume game. You're going to be producing content that is geared towards monetization, not just content that is for the sake of content. So many people just putting stuff out there, not really thinking about it. And you're going to get to know your audience really well, which they're going to appreciate. But you're going to get to understand your customer base and your audience generally by talking to them. You're going to get to know their inside. You're going to get to know them inside out, their desires, their aspirations, their goals, all the things that they want, and that is going to help fuel your content even more. If you do all of those things, I don't care what platform you're on. I don't care if you're on YouTube, if you're on email, if you're on Facebook. If you do all of those things, you will be able to extract a lot of money out of a small audience, and you'll be able to help a lot of people with your product, with your solution, right? There's 4 tips for you, 3 main ones plus a bonus one. If you take these tips and implement them into whatever platform it is that you're using now, you'll do really well and you will massively ramp up your earnings from a small audience. And think about the power when that audience grows if you keep doing those things, right? A bigger audience full of buyers, that's ridiculously powerful. A bigger audience full of buyers getting pitched high ticket, that's really powerful. Right? A bigger audience full of buyers getting pitched high ticket frequently and unapologetically by an authority who's got momentum behind them and who adds personality and who talks to people directly and asks them questions and understands where they're at and helps them come up with a custom plan. All of these things. If you combine all those things and then you get to start to see even more growth, which you will because people will respect you more for your unique approach. These things are simple, but most people don't do them. If you do all those things, you'll crush it. You'll do really, really well. Okay. If you want to get into the high ticket affiliate marketing space, check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator. You can work with me and my team. We'll get you plugged into all the strategy on how to build an audience like this. We'll get into way more detail around monetization strategies, how to craft an offer, how to earn big commissions. We can close sales for you if that's the right fit for you. We'll get you mentorship, coaching, get you plugged into the community, all that kind of stuff. The links are in the description for that. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, smash the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Give this video a like if you got some value from it. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.